Sometimes I have to just remind myself that there are literally no rules when it comes to this, and I can do whatever I want. Hi, hello, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Alex, and today is the Maybe series. If you're new here, the Maybe series is just a list of books that I've compiled that I might read in the upcoming months. And today's Maybe series is especially special. Number one, I have a really big announcement. I am doing a giveaway on YouTube, on this channel right here. Next week for the March wrap up is going to be my 1 year YouTube anniversary, so it's like super exciting. So I'm doing a giveaway. All you have to do is follow me and drop a comment, and that will be considered like your entry or whatever. And not next week at the March wrap up, but at the next episode after that, so 2 weeks from now, I will announce the winner. And here's the thing, you get to pick which book you win. So typically when I do a giveaway, it's like, this is the book I'm giving away and blah blah blah. You get to pick the book. Like literally, I want you to pick a book, and like I'll order it on Amazon and I'll have it like shipped to you or whatever. There are going to be like some limitations, like obviously don't order like a box set or anything. Really do want to keep the price like below $15 because your girl's broke as a joke. I want you guys to pick the book since it's like a gift for you for being a subscriber of mine or whatever. So yeah, subscribe, drop a comment, and you will be entered in the giveaway. I'll remind you next week to do the same thing. But yeah, that's the special thing. First special thing for today. The second special thing is today is gonna be what I'm calling missed opportunities for the Maybe series. So I literally went through all my Maybes lists that I've done on this channel, and I picked out books that still like sit in my head. Like when I was looking at the list, I was like, oh yeah, I was really interested in reading that book, but for whatever reason, when I was doing my monthly lineup, that book didn't end up in the lineup either. Like I couldn't find it in time. I just had other books that I was more interested in reading. And so, yeah, I'm cycling these books back into the Maybes. Some of them you have seen before because I've cycled them already. That just means I really want to read them. But yeah, today is all recycled books from Maybe series. These are just books that have really been on my brain. And yeah, let's not waste any more time. Make sure you hit all the buttons down below, especially if you want to enter into the giveaway. And I post on this channel every week, and all we do is talk about books. So if you like listening to people talk about books, here I am every week doing just that for you. Let's get into it. First book I'm going to talk about today is Wild and Wicked Things by Francesca May. So this one on the Maybes list like a long time ago, but I still think about this book. Okay, it's like a magic book, but it's also a period piece. I think it's set like after World War I or something, and that's kind of why it hasn't been like hitting the top notes for me, is because I really struggle with period pieces. I struggle with historical fiction, but I'm thinking like since this is kind of like historical fantasy, that it might be better. And obviously it's magic and about women empowerment and stuff like that. So I mean, like, it sounds pretty good, right? But she is kind of thick, so that's kind of another reason why it hasn't gotten read. The next book on the Maybes list is The Farm by Joanne Ramos. Yeah. You look at the cover, you read the title, and I feel like you can draw a lot of conclusions from that about what this book is going to be about. It is exactly how it looks, I think. Basically, you can get paid like a crap ton of money to have other people's babies for them. You know, like people who can't have children or that don't want to do the whole like birthing process thing or whatever. So this book centers around a underprivileged woman that gets into it for the money, and kind of her story in this dystopian-esque situation. The reason this has been backburnered for me, I don't know that I can emotionally handle this. Like, I have been a mess emotionally for about a year. A lot of these things that we've just been like reading about in books and whatever have really become more and more our reality. And I think this might be too close for me right now with my emotional state the way that it is. It still looks super interesting to me though, so yeah. The next book I'm going to talk about is Hunting by Stars by Cherie Dimaline. Y'all heard me talk about this book more than once if you've been here a minute. This has been on a few maybes lists because I'm definitely going to read it. Like, I'm not saying I'm definitely going to read it in April. It's getting read this year, okay? This is the sequel to The Marrow Thieves, which, if you haven't read The Marrow Thieves, go do that. Oh, it's so good, okay? This is, The Marrow Thieves is about, like, an indigenous boy, Frenchie, trying to survive a apocalypse type situation with other indigenous peoples. This is the sequel. It's a little thick, and so I don't know that I'll get to it in April. Just to like recap for you guys the month that I've had, it has been crazy. I will tell you more about this next week in the March wrap up, but like I have had no time to read. And so like I'm actually really scared to put some of these bigger books on my lists for the month because I don't honestly know if I'm gonna be able to read them. Like I'm shocked at how little time I had to read in March, so I'm trying to steer away from some of the thicker books because I just don't know if I can get them done. But regardless, Hunting by Stars is going to get read in 2023, I guarantee it, but I just don't know if it'll be April. Next book I'm going to talk about is The River Has Teeth by Erica Waters. Okay, I'm pretty sure this went in the October lineup. I'm not positive, I can't remember. But so it's supposed to be kind of horror-ish, magical, and a lot of people said the representation is really good. Everyone says Erica Waters is like phenomenal. So I really do want to read this book. I think the hang up on this one has just been like scheduling, honestly. I haven't been able to get it from the library and like it just hasn't worked out, but I am gonna probably try to read this one this year for sure. April, I don't know. We'll see how everything shakes out, like I said, but someone described it as like angry sapphic witches, and I was like, well, I mean, that sounds right up my alley. The next book on my list is The Last Days of Jack Sparks by Jason Arnopp. If you've been here a minute, this book has been on multiple lists, okay? Because I really want to read it, but now I'm afraid that I've like built it up so much that I'm gonna read it and be disappointed. Do you know what I mean? So this is a horror book, which part of my like New Year's goals was to read more horror throughout the year. And it's also supposed to be like a cult book, so it's like two really great things that I love to read. So like I don't feel like it's gonna be disappointing, but I mean I've been surprised before by books that were supposed to be really good. So yeah. This one ticks a lot of boxes for me. And it has shown up in my maybes videos more than once. Like this was definitely on the October horror lineup. And then I tried to read it again, probably like in January, I think, and it just didn't end up happening. So it's back again. I definitely feel like this is going to get read sometime this year. It's just, it's so hard for me to like narrow it down. Like when I make these lists, I'm so excited about each one of these books, and then I have to do the hard thing of picking one. Like, how do you pick? How do you pick? Because I just don't have the time to read every single book. I wish I did. I wish I had the focus too. I wish I had the time and the focus to read every single book that I put on every single maybes list I've ever made. That would just fix everything. I digress. The next book I'm going to talk about is The Killing Lessons by Saul Black. This was on the December lineup. I do remember that because it was like not that long ago. And this is about like a group of like a mom and her kids get stuck in their house during like a snowstorm, and then there's like a serial killer coming through like slaughtering people. So this is a serial killer thriller, which is like top tier for me. I love books like that. And it's also about like the detective that's solving the case, who happens to be a woman, which is also like terrific for me. the holdup, the reason I have not picked this up, because this is ticking a lot of boxes for me too. In my winter aesthetic, this is it. Okay, so there's a reason why I haven't picked it up yet. It's part of a series. And y'all know me in series, okay? Like, I have so much trouble. And this is my goal. Part of my goals this year was to close out some of my series. And there's this little voice in the back of my head that's like, you haven't closed out any series this year, Alex. Not one. It is March, and you have not closed out a single series. And you made it a goal to do that, and you haven't done that. So you cannot start a new series because you haven't closed out any other ones. It's literally all I think about when I think about new series. Is like, Alex, you have all these other series that you haven't finished, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, that's the reason why I haven't read it yet, is because I keep telling myself that I have to finish one of these other series before I start a new one, which is silly. So we will see if I can break this cycle. We will see if I actually end up getting this one on the list. Okay, the next book. It Returns. The Kiss Thief by LJ Shen. The reason I am laughing, I have been through it with this book. If y'all know, if y'all been here just for even half a minute, you know I've been through it with this book, okay? Here's the thing. I was super, in case you haven't been with it, here's what happened, okay? I really wanted to read an enemies to lovers book. But again, I was like, I don't want a series book. Apparently, standalone enemies to lover that's like maybe a little bit BDSM is difficult to find. I was not aware that they're that difficult to find as standalone books, but apparently, yes. Anyway, LJ Shen kept popping up. This book specifically kept popping up, so I was like, okay, I really, really, really want to read it. Get on my library, put a hold on it, and I'm like, done. It's gonna get here. It didn't come. It didn't come. Like, I was waiting and waiting and waiting for it. I cannot remember which lineup it was for, but it came ready for me like 2 days before the end of the month, and I was like, obviously I can't read it before the end of the month, because the end of the month's like 2 days away. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll just add it to my next lineup for this coming month. Didn't happen. It just sat on my counter, and I didn't get it read because I think I got backed up with work. It must have been February when all this happened. Backed up with work, couldn't pick it up. It just sat there, and I was like, no big deal. I'll get on my library and I'll renew it, and I'll read it this month. No, can't renew it. Can't renew it because someone else is waiting for it. So I had to return it unread. I almost passed away because I don't do that. Like, I don't return books that I haven't read. That's just not me. That's just not me. I hate sending them back to the library unread. I feel like I hurt their feelings. But I had to do it because someone else was waiting for it. So I was like, okay, I'm sending it back. And then when I got home, I made an executive decision. I said, okay, I'm putting in to get it again. Like, I got online and I put it on hold, and I said, the next time it comes through, I'm taking it home and I'm reading it. No excuses. I will table everything else and I will read this book because I just have to. Guess what just came? Guess what just came in at the library? This book. It's downstairs. It's sitting on my counter. It's waiting for me. It's there. And I normally don't do this. I normally do not tell you guys what I'm going to read. This is normally like a very open thing, and then I make decisions like either later today or next week even. Like, I have not solidified any of my list, but I made myself promise. This came into my orbit again. I had to read it, and it's sitting downstairs waiting for me to read it. So it's gonna happen. If it doesn't happen, if for some reason it doesn't get read again, I'm just gonna say goodbye. I think I have to. And it better deliver. This book better deliver. It's a lot of pressure. I hope she lives up to it. And of course, every month there's a spot on my list for the book club book. I run a book club, and I have no idea what the lineup's gonna be for this. The voting has not really been going that well. Gonna have to sit down and have a chat with the book club members because there's not been as much interaction as there typically is. So I need everybody to kind of like snap out of the winter blues or whatever and get to it. The lineup, though, on the book club poll was very random, I would say. Like, I can't think of the word. I'm sitting here, I can't think of the word. A lot of variety happening there. So we'll just see. But I am excited to talk to you about what I read this month. I'm so excited for next week's post, which is going to be the March wrap up, because I read some really good books this month and I'm like super excited to talk to you about them. Yeah, don't forget about the giveaway. You get to pick the book for the giveaway if you win. So just make sure you subscribe and drop me a comment and you'll be entered to win. The giveaway is going to be open all through this week and all through next week, and so I'll remind you on next week's video too to enter the giveaway. I'm really excited about that, and I'm really excited about my 1-year YouTube anniversary. It's definitely been a journey, a fun one for me, I think. Yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. I'm excited to talk to you guys about next week. I'm excited about the giveaway. And yeah, make sure you hit all the buttons down below so you know when I'm posting. I post every week, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!